What's going on, everybody? I'm the Entertainist, and welcome back. So, I am joined today with my guest, Rain from RAINPlaysGames. Say hello,
What is
Rain.
up, everyone?
And we are going to review Mortal Kombat. It is out now on HBO Max and in theaters, and we both just watched it recently, and we're going to review it for you. I got Joseph on here, Rain, because he's a big video game enthusiast. I know he's a big fan of the Mortal Kombat games. I myself am not too familiar with them or the characters, so I want to start with my. Oh, by the way, there are going to be spoilers in this video. We're going to talk non-spoiler first, and then we'll get into spoilers. So to start off, I'd like to say that my overall opinion of the movie, I thought it was fun. It was a fun, action movie. The fighting scenes were really cool, and the fatalities were probably my favorite part. But I didn't have a big emotional connection to the movie because I don't know the lore of Mortal Kombat. So as far as characterization, there was a lot of characters I did like in the movie, but I just wasn't very attached to any of them emotionally, if you know what I mean. Because, that and the story, it was just like, the story I think was, but we're not here to watch the story. We don't really, we're here to see cool fighting because that's, the game of Mortal Kombat. At least I think most people, that's why most people would want to see. But yeah, just for me, I think I had a good time overall. I would definitely be down for a sequel, and I'll watch it if or when that comes out. But yeah, it was good. It was good. It was fine. I didn't love it. So that's my overall opinion.
For a gamer's side for this movie, it actually fits to a lot of stuff that you would want to see as a movie itself. It almost feels like if you were going to be like taking part of the original Mortal Kombat movie from 1995, but having a much more of a different approach for today, and you got yourself like something that you really want to watch. For my sake of it, I actually enjoyed it because it actually has a mix between like something that you see these Mortal Kombat fighters done from like past games to current games, and this is like something that you would definitely would say is like, yes, it follows with like most part of the story very well.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. That really is. One thing I want to comment on, as much as I did love the fighting, and it was really cool, and it was the best aspect of the movie, for a rated R movie, I think the fighting itself didn't feel rated R. It didn't feel to the fullest extent that they could have gone. I feel like it felt like just quick cuts and like a lot of jumping and moving around, which it felt like none of the characters were that damaged by this, single punches. It felt like everyone was able to take a hit, and it didn't mean anything till the fatality happened. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I took it. I was like, man, every character isn't getting affected by the fight itself, only the fatalities. It's a little nitpick I have of it, but nevertheless, doesn't mean the fighting itself isn't entertaining.
The only thing that I would have to like talk a little bit over on this is like, of course they are like basically fighters in their own way. They have like they basically have people from like different fighting aspects of it. Of course, you basically like got Jax and Sonya Blade. They were basically like Marine. I guess you could kind of say Marine veterans or whatnot, and then they basically have like a way for like guns or fist to fist combat or whatnot. You also have basically like the newcomer of it, Cole Young, which is basically a creation of the movie. It was never real. I mean, that character was basically never really introduced in the games whatsoever.
Yeah.
And then you basically got like these other people with like a crazy kind of aspect of it. It was like if you look at Melina, you could tell like how crazy she is.
Yeah. Wait, which one? Melina, was she the one where
She's the Tarkatan with
Yeah, I was
with
just
the
about to.
fucking
She was
teeth.
cool. She was cool. I actually really liked
Yeah.
her. All right, let's get into some spoilers now. At least spoiler territory.
Yeah.
I think my favorite character of the movie was definitely Kano. He was hilarious. The actor that played him was hilarious. I don't like I said, I don't know much about the characters. Kano was hilarious. I loved him every time he talked. And then I think the coolest character, I think they did a really good job with Sub-Zero, and that's why I texted you when I was watching it. I was like, from what I remember, isn't Sub-Zero a good guy in the games? I was like, they're making him out to be the villain in this movie.
You did
Yeah.
text me that,
Which
and
it's fine if they're doing something different.
yeah,
It's just like it threw
for
me off a little bit. I was like, wait a
yeah,
second.
for majority of the games, Sub-Zero, depending on basically who you're going to be like talking about, there's basically like the original Sub-Zero, which you basically saw, which was Bihan, uh, who is also credited in the movie as Noob Saibot,
Mhm.
and also like basically it kind of falls in a way like how the original movie is, because like in the original movie, Sub-Zero was basically like a bad guy in it, and in the second movie, Annihilation, his brother was actually also Sub-Zero, but in a good way.
That's a
Um,
yeah, and I think don't they do that in the games as well?
yes, they do, because I believe in Mortal Kombat 3, or was it 3 or Mortal Kombat 3 Ultimate, you could also have like that second version of Sub-Zero, because his brother mostly is maskless for a lot of it. Also, like I like that they actually use the original names before they get into their carnation of like who they are. Of course, Bihan is like Sub-Zero, and like I keep on forgetting his name, but like um
Who are you
Hansen,
describing?
or it's Scorpion, basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought he
Let
was
me
cool
let me
too.
look at his name real quick. So yeah, with the original name for like Scorpion, Hanzo Hasashi, and I gotta say, it actually fits very well, because in the Mortal Kombat like lineage, Sub-Zero Bihan has killed the family of Scorpion during like the war of like the Ling Kuei and the Shiai Ryu.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, Sub-Zero was a really cool aspect. So was Scorpion. I think that was my favorite fight. That's the one that hyped me up a little bit, was the final fight between Sub-Zero and Scorpion. Like Scorpion is full form. And when he came back, he was like, remember this face? And like the Mortal Kombat theme just starts playing. Like that was very well done. A lot of I think I liked a lot of the locations they used for the fight scenes, because it felt like the locations you would play at in the games. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and especially like even though it wasn't like part of a fight scene, but it's basically where like a Scorpion has been at throughout, like I guess you could kind of say centuries or whatnot for
Mm-hmm.
how it is. Um, yeah, because the Netherrealm, otherwise as most people call it, like Hell, is actually way below Hell anyway. That's basically where Scorpion has been like throughout all this time, and it actually fits to him. If I'm not mistaken, originally, Quan Chi was the one that basically resurrect Scorpion, and yet he not only is he basically like originally like fighting for Outworld, and also want to exact his revenge on Sub-Zero. That's
Mm-hmm.
basically like how a lot of the video games would be. But in this aspect, you can tell like when Scorpion came back, they made him like a total badass
They did.
when he faced Sub-Zero.
They did for sure. I
Another thing that I would basically like compared to like other stuff is like they have like a lot of showing of the people that were basically fighting there. as they're not like just immediately killed off. Well, except for one, Natara, the fucking vampire bitch, is like what
Yeah.
most people would like call her. She basically has uh, a similar aspect to basically Shang Tsung, because Shang Tsung or Shang Tsung is like some other people would say, he basically is the one that would steal people's souls for him to live. As for Natara, she doesn't care basically for soul, but basically their blood in order for her to live.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think if if you know the characters, then this movie definitely delivered to those people. It seemed like, just from my understanding, from what I saw, it was like, it seems like they did the best they could with these characters that they threw in here. I'm not too familiar with them, so I didn't know how to really take it. I mean, I obviously know Scorpion, Sub-Zero, they're like the main stars of Mortal Kombat. And then Kano I knew familiar. I did, however, one character I've always liked using in the games, and I love that they teased him at the very end for the sequel, Johnny Cage.
Yes, that,
And you know,
that
and
I was
what I
actually
heard,
surprised about.
and my friend and I were talking today, he was like, I'm surprised Johnny Cage wasn't in this movie. I was like, what I don't quote me on this too much, but I think what I heard is that they didn't want Kano and Johnny Cage in the same movie because the characters themselves are pretty similar. So it's like, we can't have two arrogant assholes, you know what I mean, in the same movie. So they're like, we're going to throw Kano in here first, and then we're going to do Johnny Cage for the second movie. I mean, maybe, I think something like that's pretty accurate. Maybe it's not 100% like that, but that's just from my understanding. Because I know Johnny Cage is kind of like, I'm the shit. Like, he's really cocky. He's very arrogant and full of himself. And Kano is the exact same way in this movie. So it's like, we can't have two of the same characters in the same movie.
You are right about that. It's just like, they're both basically cocky, arrogant, and whatnot. But the difference between like both of them is this: is like Kano is more of a shitbag than what you expect.
Yeah.
And there's been like some aspects. It's like, okay, I'm surprised they didn't actually add this character in it, because like this is basically like something that makes more sense, because like if Melina is there, where the fuck is Katana? Because Melina is basically a creation from Shang Tsung, from Melina's body or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not Melina's body, Katana's body.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised like Katana wasn't in the movie or whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm not, like I said, I don't really know. One other thing I want to bring up before we grade this movie, two of my favorite fatalities from the movie, and then I want you to like say yours too if you have a favorite fatality from this movie.
Oh yeah.
I love the one, I forgot what the lady that's like the bird, and then she just gets her head sawed.
Yeah, Natara. Yeah, with Kung Lao's bladed hat.
That was badass. That was one of my that felt like how the entire movie. That's how I think they should have handled the entire movie. Like that is one of his gore.
Yeah, that is one of his actual fatalities in there.
Yeah,
like,
and then
I like the fact that, speaking about the fatalities, I like the fact that not only did they actually, of course, bring that in it, in like for most of their ways, but also make classic ones in there, such as not only that, but Kano's like heart grab when he did that to Reptile, and Liu Kang's dragon fatality when he did that to Cabal.
Yeah. Then what was the one? I forgot his name. The one guy who like loses his arms to Sub-Zero in the beginning.
Jax,
dude.
Yeah.
When he smashed the one dude's head.
Yeah, that's also a classic.
And he was
fatality.
like, "Damn, these motherfuckers do work." That was
what I'm surprised about, because I originally thought that because when I thought that Jax was about to be doing a fatality, I thought it was going to be like one of those stage fatalities, because it looks like, I forgot what It is, but it's in most Mortal Kombat games. But it basically looks like an uppercut, and you basically fall into the pit. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's basically what that is.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited because they said that they're going. Warner Brothers did confirm that if this does successful, which I'm sure it's going to, especially that people get to watch at the comfort of their own homes, that they're going to
Not
continue the
only that, but
franchise.
in theaters as
Theaters
well.
as well. I think it'd be a really cool theater experience. Same with like Godzilla versus Kong, because I that hit a lot of box office records for the theaters because that is a movie theater movie, and I could probably say the same about this too. So I know they said that they're going to continue the franchise. So I'm excited for a sequel if they're going to do it. I think if they were to do some things a little different, I think since they are doing rated R's, they have more freedom to make it a little more grotesque than they did in this movie. That's my only issue about it, really. Other than that, I wasn't coming in here like hoping for a great story. I wasn't coming in here for the best acting. I just wanted to see some cool fight scenes and to see some brutal fatalities, and I got that, and I was satisfied overall. So with that being said, I'm gonna give Mortal Kombat a three out of 5 stars.
So for my aspect of it, there's actually just some final things I would like to say because like my all-time favorite, my favorite fatality of that was of course Liu Kang's dragon one because it brings back to like one of his classic fatalities for it, but much more in a different aspect because it's like the dragon is like fucking on fire and whatnot. And that I like. But there's also an Easter egg in it because remember when Sonya Blade was like showing some of the pictures or whatnot? There is, I think it was in that or is in like the crypt thing that basically had like Lord Raiden and Liu Kang in.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot where it was at, but one of the pictures was like one guy's face with like the feathers on his head.
Yeah.
That is Koto Khan when he was introduced in Mortal Kombat X.
Okay.
So I actually enjoyed everything about this. There are some stuff that I would just change a bit from it, but instead of your like star rating, I'm actually doing mine different and actually having a percentage rating, and I'm giving this a 93%.
Solid, yeah, solid rating. Solid movie overall, and I'm excited to see where they're going to take this franchise. I think it could go up from here. I could see the sequel really like coming out strong, and like now that they got, because you know what, it was kind of like a redemption for this. They just one final note I have that the past Mortal Kombat movies didn't do too successful, and especially over time they didn't age well. So they knew that they could really do a strong comeback with this franchise movie wise, and I think they did pretty good overall with this. So I think it can only go up from here. So since this did pretty good, I think they're like, okay, we know that we didn't fuck that up, and that we can't fuck it up. So we need to make these sequels better than the last. That's what I think they're going to do. So see how it goes. I'm excited for Johnny Cage.
Hoping. Yeah, here's hoping that the sequel for it is a lot better than the original Mortal Kombat movies, Mortal Kombat Annihilation. That one was just like thumbs down.
One more question I have for you. Did you see this in theaters?
No, I actually saw it at home.
Oh, okay. So you watched it on HBO Max too. Okay, I didn't know if you saw it in theaters and had the movie theater experience. But all right, guys.
Who knows? I might be wanting to actually go to the movie theaters to watch it for sure. Yeah.
I think it'd be a cool experience.
Dude, one final thing I will say, not only will basically like Johnny Cage like confirmed as one of the new characters for the possible sequel, but there's also like two that I would like to have on watch to be added into the sequel. Number one, I would like to actually hopefully see Katana for either Outworld or Earthrealm for it.
Would she have like a full evolution that we need to see, or like kind of like how Scorpion died and then came back with like a final form? Is that like what they would do with her in your opinion, or like your theories?
No, I think she's more like one that would immediately be shown like in a damsel of distress or whatnot.
Okay.
But speaking of which, another person that I would actually like to see in the movie, let's see, because we already did have like Goro in it. I want to actually step it up a bit and actually see, because I was originally thinking about Mataro, but I don't know how they can actually make that a lot better than, of course, what they did back then. It's like
Yeah.
the Mataro and like Mortal Kombat Annihilation was shit, but it's like maybe they could do better. But I would like to see Kentaro in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
no, it'd be cool.
another
It's like they start.
4RP.
It's like they start bringing in like DLC characters. Freddy Krueger shows up. Leatherface.
Hey, after
They,
you
do
remember
crossovers.
that,
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well, guys, that is our review for Mortal Kombat. Definitely check it out. Cool action movie. If you're a fan of the games, I think this will deliver for you just fine if you're into that lore. You know, Joseph here being an expert with that lore, he enjoyed it. He said it best for somebody that is familiar with that stuff. Rain, thank you for having me, or thank you for having me.
The whole world's thanking you, thanking us for thanking you.
God damn it.
All right.
Just because our faces could be familiar doesn't mean you are me.
Will you be Shane? All right. Well,
But yeah, thanks for having me.
you're welcome. All right. And thank you all for watching, and please like and subscribe. Check out Range channel in the description below, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.
See you later, guys.